Hello everyone, hope you're all well. I am making another Burrow original this week. The origins of this cocktail come from my sister-in-law who messaged me asking if I could make a cocktail for her that she had in a bar in Edinburgh. Now, I'd been to the bar, but I hadn't had this cocktail, so it was a little bit of a challenge for me. It was a few years back she had it. I looked on Google and I managed to find the menu from then, so I actually found the drink that she was talking about. However, it wasn't incredibly descriptive. It was seaweed gin and it had watermelon and citrus and lychee bubbles and soda, so it didn't really tell me a huge amount what was in it. So I have kind of taken all of those flavours and made this my own drink. I've named it the Spirit of the Sea as well. It was actually my husband Ben that named it for me because I was struggling with a name, and I entered it into the community cocktail challenge. I didn't win, but it was lots of fun, and it's actually one of my most liked cocktails on Instagram, so I'm really excited to share it with you guys today. As I said, it's a seaweed infused gin cocktail, so it's quite different from what I usually do. I usually do quite floral and sweet drinks. This is definitely different. It's a little bit out there, but bear with me because it is delicious. So earlier on I steeped a little bit of gin in some seaweed powder. You could also use seaweed sheets as well, just either or is fine. You can do a huge amount of gin, or I just done a very small amount because I knew I was just going to be making this one cocktail today, so I just done a little bit of gin and just infused it for a few hours and strained it, and it kind of gives it a nice green colour and a seaweedy flavour. Bear with me, it is really nice. So we're using that today, my silent pool gin that I have steeped in the seaweed. We're also using some Lychee Liqueur, some watermelon syrup, some lime juice, and then a Whisky Spray on the top as well, which was actually on the menu at the bar, and I thought I can do that because I have a little spray bottle here. So let's get going with the Spirit of the Sea cocktail. Start with a shaker, and I'm going to do, that is my ice from my fridge. I'm going to start with 25 mils of the gin. So as you can see, it's just a very, very small amount of gin in here. I'm going to do 25 mils in here to start. Oh wow, it's so, you can smell it as soon as I open it up. It's such a gorgeous smell if you like, you know, the sea and seaweed and sushi and things like that. Okay, then we're going to do 15 mils of the Lychee Liqueur. This isn't my favourite Lychee Liqueur, I'm not going to lie. The one I usually use, I can't remember at the moment, but it comes in a gorgeous kind of square pinky bottle. But I got this along with another order, I think last year, so I'm just using this up. But any Lychee Liqueur you have, 15 mils of this. Mil. Great. Now I'm going to do 20 mils of the watermelon syrup. That seems like quite a lot compared to the other things that are going on here, but what I find with my watermelon syrup, it's just sugar, simple sugar syrup with watermelon in it, is you need quite a lot of it to taste the watermelon, so that's why I'm doing 20 mils of syrup in here. Make it a bit messy. Okay, that's about 20 mils. Then we're going to do 10 mils of fresh lime juice that I have already squeezed, so 10 ml going in here. And that's us. It's quite simple. There's not a lot going on in this cocktail. So that's all the ingredients into the shaker, and now I'm just going to add the ice as always and give it a good shake. There we go. So this cocktail is really fun and it's really different actually. So I would encourage you to give it a go and give the seaweed infused gin a go as well, because it's quite interesting. So for my glass, I have got just a seed of seaweed that I have cut into a thin strip and just placed it around the glass. I dabbed a little bit of water on and it just stuck really well, so I'm actually really happy with this garnish today. Okay, so of a strainer. Let's get a strainer out because there is a few little bits of seaweed left. There's probably still will be when I pour it, but that's fine. So in we go. So it's not as pink as the last time that I made it. For some reason, the last time that I made this drink for that community cocktail challenge, the watermelon syrup went really, really pink, but it didn't go as pink today. It tasted the same. So I don't know what that's all about, but anyway, I'm sure it'll still taste the same. So to finish off, we are going to do the Whisky Spray. Dead exciting, it's just a little bit of spray of the whiskey on top before we serve, and it's quite dramatic if you're making it for people and you have guests over and whatnot. So just a few sprays of the whiskey. Oh, there we go. Oh, that whiskey, amazing. And then just a little seaweed sheet on the top there as well. So there we go, that is my Spirit of the Sea cocktail. I'm going to taste a little bit and let you know what it tastes like. Oh, that's really good. That's so good actually. It's different, it's definitely different. It's kind of sweet and savoury. It's very Moorish, that from past experience, the more that you drink it, the nicer it sort of gets. It's really nice with it. For some reason, the lychee and seaweed and the watermelon and the whiskey as well. Oh, the whiskey on the top is so good. Yeah, it all just seems to go together really well. So yeah, that's my Spirit of the Sea cocktail. Thanks as always for watching. Please join me next week when I'll be doing something a little bit different. Next week I'm going to do 3 different cocktails for you. I'm going to be using 3 different spirits, 3 different things that everyone should have in their house. So I'm going to use gin, I'm going to use vodka, and I'm going to use bourbon, and they're going to be really simple. I quite often get people saying to me, your cocktails look amazing, I wish I could do that, I don't have half the stuff you have. So next week it's going to be really basic drinks with very little other things that you need. There's going to be no bitters, no fancy liqueurs, no fancy homemade syrups, nothing like that. So if you've ever watched my videos and thought, oh, I want to make one of them but I don't have any of the stuff, then next week's video is definitely for you, so give it a watch. In the meantime, thank you for watching and happy cocktailing. Cheers!